Tu B'Shvat Sameach. Here we are in Eretz Yisrael. You can see the beautiful green and the red geraniums and the trees. And I wanted to just share a few ideas with you before Tu B'Shvat. In the Mishnah, there is a disagreement between Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel as to when the New Year of the Trees actually is. Beit Shammai says it's the first of the month of Shvat, and Beit Hillel says it's the 15th, Tu B'Shvat. What is the basis of their disagreement? There is a tradition that 4 months after the water is judged, the sap begins to flow in the trees. A majority of the rain is considered to have fallen already in the land of Israel, and the sap begins to rise in the trees. So Beit Hillel, which says it's on the 15th of the month, because the 15th of the month of Tishrei, exactly 4 months before, is when the water is judged during the holiday of Sukkot. That's one of the secrets of shaking the lulav and pouring the water on the altar at the time of the temple, was to pray for rain. But Beit Shammai says everything is judged on Rosh Hashanah, the water also. So it should be 4 months from the first of the month of Tishrei, which is Rosh Hashanah. We hold by Beit Hillel, and the important thing is the idea that the sap begins to run in the trees. So a beautiful insight is that when God creates mankind, it says that God blew into the nostrils of man nishmat chayim, the breath of life. And the Zohar says about this idea of God, as it were, blowing into the nostrils of mankind, is that when you blow from your depths. Anyone who has blown up a balloon knows that you have to gather up your breath and you have to blow from your innards to make the balloon expand. So this is the secret of what we're taught in Chassidut, that the soul is an actual part of God above. Because God is blowing into the soul from, as it were, his very innards. Now, we can equate this to the sap beginning to rise in the tree. The sap is coming from the depths of the tree. It's rising from the very, very innards of the tree, and it begins to rise, and it will bring new leaves, new buds, and eventually fruit. So that is the energy of what's happening on Tu B'Shvat. There is a new redemptive rebirth happening, not just in nature, but in the soul. And that is really the ultimate secret of Tu B'Shvat, of the energy that we want to connect to. It's not just that the sap is rising in the trees and nature is being renewed, but we have the possibility of being renewed by connecting to this energy. Tu B'Shvat falls out on a full moon. A month later, the full moon of the month of Adar is Shushan Purim. And then exactly a month later, on the full moon of Nisan, is Pesach. So beginning on Tu B'Shvat, a redemptive energy starts to well up like the sap. And that answers a question that people have, is why are we reading about coming out of Egypt now? Why not at Pesach time? And this is the answer. The answer is that the redemptive energy that will fully manifest itself at the time of Pesach is beginning on Tu B'Shvat. The sap is beginning to rise in the tree. A new redemptive energy is starting to rise. And one more beautiful connection is that each of the months of the year has a letter through which it is created. This is according to the Sefer Yetzirah. The letter of the month of Shvat is the Tzadi, or what the Arizal called Tzaddik, the righteous one. So we're taught that within every Jew is a point of a tzaddik. The verse says, and all of your people are tzaddikim. So that means in potential, each one of us has a holy energy that maybe isn't totally manifest, but when Tu B'Shvat comes and the sap begins to run in the tree, so each person could try to contact that point of a tzaddik that's within us and let the sap begin to flow. So I just want to bless everyone to be able to connect to this energy, and especially what's happening in the world. We need a redemption. We need a new energy, and everyone should be blessed to connect to the depths of the sap running in the trees on Tu B'Shvat. Thank you so much.